Okay, welcome back to the Smash Sports YouTube channel. Today I'm joined with the founder of Brawl Season, the newly appointed CEO of CagesideTV, Charlie Chizino. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. I still need to actually make the Instagram page at the time of recording, but once this video is up, the page will be made. So, yeah, it's great.
Perfect.
It's great to be here. I'm excited to
That's
do some
on
predictions.
Instagram, yeah?
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, might as well get straight into it. The first fight is... Oh, if I'm looking down here, by the way, it's because I've got a little write-up.
Yeah,
So,
right, yeah, cool, yeah.
Okay. The first fight of the night is Bolaji versus Chris Duncan. This, for me, is like quite a hard fight to pick, to be honest. Duncan's really tough and a durable lightweight. Bolaji is also a tough and a prolific finisher. I managed to catch a few of Bolaji's fights on Levels Fight League in the Netherlands. I was quite impressed by him. However, Chris has definitely fought a tougher competition and has a much higher caliber of opponent. For this reason, I'm going to go with Chris Duncan. How do you see this one playing out, mate?
I don't think I've done the level of research, to be honest, that you have, especially on Bolaji, right? I watched his debut, which was on the Hermansen Piper card. I think that was earlier this year. I remember thinking he was a good fighter. He's Belgian, right? And I remember thinking, like, he stood out. It was a decision win, but I liked his performance. But I agree, Chris Duncan has definitely fought, the better competition.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm gonna go Chris Duncan as well. Just more the experience in the UFC. I think. Is he coming off a loss? I'm pretty sure he's coming off a loss.
He is coming off a loss.
I don't think he's definitely got talent, right? And he's better than his record has shown in the UFC so far. I think he'll win by decision. Like you said, he's tough. This is Bolaji's second fight in the UFC. His first fight was in the Apex. This is in front of a big French crowd. Do you know what I mean? So I think Chris Duncan will be able to perform better under the bright lights. I think he'll win by decision. It'll be a good fight.
I agree. The second fight is between Nora Cornolle and Jacquelin Cavilcanti. I'm gonna go with Nora Cornolle. I really don't like to pick women's MMA fights in MMA. I don't want to get cancelled, but genuinely, I think...
To make it interesting, I'm going to go Cavilcanti then.
Okay, that works. Honestly, if you could flip a coin, it makes...
Never bet on women's MMA. It's the easiest way to lose your money.
Craziest things happen. Okay, cool. So you're going Cavilcanti, I'm going Cornolle. Yeah. Okay, cool. The third fight is Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano or something like that. In this fight, I'm picking Victor based on his resume being a little bit better than
I was going to say the same. But again, I haven't really done too much research into this fight except from really just the resumes. I agree with Victor Altamirano. Probably again by decision.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. The fifth fight is Lapilus versus Vince Morales. Morales has fought pretty much everywhere. He's fought Bellator, Rising, and now he's in the UFC. Morales is also riding a 5-fight win streak. I believe he's going to be a dangerous fighter now. He's returning to the UFC, but Taylor Lupp is making his return to fight on home soil. Like last time, I think he fought in 2023 in the last Paris card.
Cyril Gane card,
Cyril Gane versus Spivak, I think. He's never been finished in his pro MMA career, something to take into account, and he's fought some pretty high-level competition outside the UFC. I'm leaning Taylor in this fight, Taylor Lapilus. I think the home court advantage is going to spur him on to the victory.
Yeah, I agree. I think Taylor Lapilus, he's the master of the jab, teep at a range. The Sean Strickland style, but a bit more boring, right? He's very good at the point fighting. He's not very good. He hasn't got that finishing killer instinct, especially not what I've seen. He's a bit of a decision merchant. But I think he still is a master of that game. Do you know what I mean? He's very smart in the way that he fights. And did he fight Keelan Loughran. Did he fight him, or was that Gomis?
Yes, yeah, I think so. On one of the Paris cards.
Yeah, I think that was his first. I think that was both of their first fight in UFC. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. But watching that fight, he was perfect to just keeping him at range, not really letting Keelan get anything off. And I think he's going to do the same to Vince Morales. I think he's going to win the decision, especially in front of the French crowd.
Yeah. So you think jab his way to a decision, yeah?
Exactly. I think it's going to be a boring fight, man.
Fair play. The next fight is Ludovit Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. I actually don't mind this fight, to be honest. I don't have much to break down in it, but Klein's definitely got a better resume, and he's definitely got a better record out of the two. He's been more active recently as well, so for that reason, I'm going to go with Klein on this one.
Yeah, I think Klein is just going to destroy Roberts. To be honest. I'm pretty sure, is Roberts coming in on short notice?
Yes, I think so.
I think he is. I can't remember who Klein was meant to be fighting originally, but like Roberts, I just don't really rate him that much. Like, he's all right, but Klein is really coming into his own. He should be really fighting a better level of competition, but they're giving him Roosevelt Roberts. So I think he's just going to start it, to be honest. I reckon knockout, maybe first round.
Cool. Knockout second round. Fair play. The next fight I'm really excited for. I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on this Oumar C.
Yeah.
He's taken on that Jung. I've been into like C for a long while now. I saw him fight in KSW. He looks like a huge problem for the light heavyweight division. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He's only fought to a decision twice in his career. He's a powerful puncher. He has strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills. His opponent's riding a 3-fight losing streak as well. So I don't know if UFC are just trying to like lay him up for this one. For a nice little easy entry. And the fact that and I'm not gonna lie, Jung, I think he's on a 3-fight losing streak. This fight is like make or break for him. So that does give him a little bit of like a hunger advantage. But I'm going with Oumar C on this one, and I think he goes 11-0 after this.
Yeah, I agree. I think Oumar C, his finishing ability is so good.
Yeah.
I watched his last fight when it was in France as well. I think he might have won by ground and pound. But he completely dominated that fight, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's very good. He's very skilled, and I think even though Jung is on a 3-fight losing streak, I don't really think that's enough to pick him against the skill of Oumar C.
Yeah.
So I think again in front of the French crowd, it's a bit of a layup, like you said. He's just going to dunk on Jung, and I think it's going to be like an early finish. I don't know whether submission or knockout, but I think inside the distance, 100%.
Yeah, fair play. Maybe, to be fair, he could get it done in the first. Like, it's a bit.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
No. The final prelim then is Iwan Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. I don't know how much you know about Ivan Erslan. He's like a KSW veteran, and it's his UFC debut. But I'm going to have to pick Cutelaba on this one. I think Cutelaba needs a win, and I think the UFC know that, to be honest. He's definitely fought a much higher competition, like, compared to Ivan. But Ivan's old, man. Like, he's not that far away from a Zimmer frame. I think there's no... He could win it, but it's just very, very, very unlikely that I think Iwan Cutelaba loses this one.
Yeah, I think even though Cutelaba, he's very skilled and he's a good fighter. He has all the potential, but he's not very smart. He's like Michael Chandler in there, yeah?
Yeah.
And I remember watching his last fight, like he was losing... Again, I haven't really done the research. This is going off pure memory. He was either losing on the feet or losing on the... No, he was losing on the feet. I remember thinking, please just get a takedown. He was getting every single takedown he went for. He was getting it and he was controlling the ground. And he just wasn't going for it. So this is why he's got the skill, but he's just not smart. Like, bro, it was frustrating to watch because I had a bet on him, right?
Yeah.
I was hating every second of that fight. But I was saying he's at 35. He's older than Cutelaba. He's his UFC debut.
Yeah.
I think Cutelaba, he's probably going to win, maybe by decision, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Moving on to the opener of the main card, we've got Barez versus Frevola. I really like this fight. Frevola doesn't have the best record against French competition. Obviously, Benoit Saint Denis sent him to the shadow realm last time they fought. I think I expect a little bit more from this fight than a lot of them, which could lead me to get broken-hearted. But Ziam riding that 3-fight win streak with a huge age advantage over Frevola. Like, Frevola's definitely getting towards the back end of his career now. I've underestimated Frevola so many times. It seems to feel like every time I pick against him, he manages to win, which is really frustrating. But I'm going to do it again. I'm going to underestimate him again, and I'm going to pick Fares in this one. How do you see it?
See, I've got Frevola in this fight. I think Ziam, he's just not. He's a very skilled fighter.
Yeah.
He's just not very dangerous, right?
No.
He's not got that finish. You know, he's not got that big knockout power like Frevola does. You know, he finished Drew Dover. Who else did he finish? It's off memory. I can't remember. But
yeah,
I know his wrestling is pretty good as well. But I just feel like he's gonna catch Ziam. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, Frevola got knocked out by Terence McKinney straight away. But Terence McKinney has got a lot. He's dangerous, even though he's a bit iffy. He's still dangerous. I don't think Ziam has really got that. So I don't think Frevola's going to be too worried to go in for that finishing sequence, however he does it. I think he's just going to overpower Ziam a little bit, even though he's against the French crowd. I don't think that'll really phase him too much. I've got Frevola probably by knockout. I'm thinking knockout round.
Frevola knockout. It's fair. It could easily happen. Listen, every time I pick, like, as I say, you're probably right. Every time I pick against Frevola, he ends up knocking someone out. And every time I pick him, he ends up losing. Like, so it's just one of them things. I do understand what you mean though with Fares. There's not much threat. Like, you don't fear. There's nothing you fear about him. He's good everywhere. I'm not saying he isn't, but he does it. There's not like, oh, you're worried about his power. You're worried about his jiu-jitsu. It's just sort of like a.
He's very well rounded, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? He's not got that one thing that you go, oh, I've got to avoid that. Do you know what I mean?
No, he's nothing special. All right, the second fight on the main card, Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. Both these fighters are making their second appearance at UFC Paris. Both are 1-1 in the UFC, and this is another fight I'm having difficulty picking, to be honest. But I am leaning towards Morgan in this fight. Yeah, Cage Warriors veteran.
Yeah. I think even as a Jordan Vucenic fan, do you know what I mean? He comfortably beat him. People love to scream robbery, but they've got no clue, right? I think Charriere, he's very skilled. You know, like his first fight at UFC Paris, I can't remember who he fought, but I remember watching that thinking like, fucking hell, that was a great performance. We won the fight by body kicks, and even his second fight in the UFC, I thought he won. To be honest, I think that was a bit of a dodgy decision. It was still a close fight, but in Paris, I don't think he's going to let that happen again. I think he's going to be looking for another finish. He's not that young, so I think he's going to be having a bit of urgency. Do you know what I mean? To try and make a statement. And I know he's very skilled, Charriere, so I think I'm going to go Charriere by knockout, probably, or TKO, maybe round 3.
Bold. I like it. Round 3. I like that. I like it a lot. The third, this fight. Honestly, this fight has serious potential. But I feel like every time I say that about a fight again, it ends up being like the most boring, like possible. Kevin Jousset versus Bryan battle. Kevin has looked fairly impressive in his first 2 UFC fights. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really think he's fought the same caliber of opponent as Bryan battle, like purely going off the resumes. So I'm going to pick Bryan battle for this, and I think he gets it done by a finish. I don't think this fight goes decision.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bryan battle is he's very skilled everywhere, and he's got a lot of power. His striking is very good. So is Kevin Jousset. I mean, does he train at City Kickboxing? I think.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He's like, spars a lot of Adesanya. Apparently, the rumors are that he beats up Adesanya in the gym. I don't know how much I believe that, but. But I think Bryan battle. He's. I saw this question at the media day. Why did you change the name from Pooh Bear to the Butcher? And remember at the start of his career when he was coming off. Was it the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
He was a bit win one, lose one, and ever since he's cut his hair, he's changed his nickname, and he's a completely different fighter. And he fights with a lot more aggression, a lot more will to win. And I think he's going to carry on riding his win streak. well, I say win streak against Ons Luso. It was a no contest, but realistically, he was beating him up, right?
Yeah, push
so
that
I think
one.
he's going to do the same. Yeah, I think he's going to win again, probably by finish. I don't know how, but I'd say inside the distance.
And if that fight goes the distance, I wouldn't even be annoyed because I think Bryan Battle is exciting to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'll get out of even though this card for us is actually on at a good time. Like, I've got no problem staying up till 3 a.m. to watch.
I like Bryan Battle. He's a bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, for sure. The full fight on the main card is William Gomis versus Joanderson Brito. William Gomis has fought at every single UFC Paris card so far, and he hasn't lost yet. He holds a 3-0 record with the UFC currently, and is riding an 11-fight win streak. I think towards the start of his career, he had a little dip, and since then, I don't think he's lost for like a while. He's going up against a 20-fight veteran, though, tough Brazilian, with a 5-1 record in the UFC, who's had wins against like Jack Shaw, Andre Fili, Diego Lopez. It's a tough matchup for William Gomis. But, and I really don't want to say it, but I am going to go with William Gomis. I think that 15,000 strong French crowd behind him is going to just push him over the line in this one. And I believe he can get it done.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm on the Brito wave. Okay, I'm a fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this guy. Like against Jack Shaw, it was a bit, the way the fight ended was a bit weird. Jack Shaw wanted to keep on fighting, the cut on the shin. It was weird, but Jack Shaw was losing that fight. Like Brito's cardio is very, very good. He's a bit like Marab, like he can keep on wrestling and doesn't really get tired. Probably on the sauce, right? He's got a lot of finishing potential. And against someone like William Gomis, he's got that Taylor Lapilus style where he's just boring, right? He's just again, pick him at range, and I think someone as aggressive as Brito, who's got as much power, I think he's gonna, because Gomis likes to fight on the outside, right? And Brito does like to pressure. I think he's gonna get him up against the fence, probably take him down, or I think he's just gonna land a heavy, probably overhand, something like that. I think he's gonna finish Gomis, to be honest, and I think he's gonna upset that French crowd. They're not gonna be happy with it.
Okay, fair play. I'm gonna pick Gomis. If Gomis does win, he's not gonna win by finish, is he? Let's be real.
No,
but
it'll be a boring win. But
yeah. But I do think he might just be out of wedge it. Moving on to the co-main event, you've got Nassourdine Imavov versus Brendan Allen. This fight is wicked. Like this is I do like this fight. I know no one likes Imavov. And I know Imavov's got no fans. And Brendan Allen's obviously riding an 8-fight win streak, coming into this fight, and it's not just any 8-fight win streak. He's got named opponents on there, like Chris Curtis, Paul Craig. Nassourdine's very active though. As much as you could say he's boring and stuff, he does fight a lot. And he's I think Nassourdine might have fought slightly higher competition. Obviously, he's fought people like Sean Strickland, for example.
Coming up a win off Canada.
Yeah, of course. And I believe that Nassourdine is better at making the fight go his way than Brendan Allen. I feel like Brendan Allen can adapt better, but I feel like Nassourdine, if he wants to make this like a wrestling fight, if he wants to make this, I'm going to hold you up against the cage and stamp on your foot a few times fight. He will do that, and there's not a lot of people that can stop him. But so I'm going to go with Imavov. I wonder how you see it.
I agree. I like Brendan Allen. He's a bit goofy, right? He's a bit of a weird fighter. But obviously he likes to wrestle, but I think Imavov has got that skill with the wrestling where he'll be able to keep it on the feet. Brendan Allen can be a bit chinny, he sort of likes to do the chicken dance, right? And I think Imavov's got really underrated striking. I think if he wants to, and I think he probably will want to keep it on the feet against Brendan Allen, because Brendan Allen has got a really good ground game. I don't think he really want to risk it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I think he'll probably keep it on the feet. Might make it a little bit boring, but I still think he'll just find that finish. I think he'll clip Allen pressure him enough where he's not going to be worried about the counter shot coming his way or Alan shooting for a takedown. I think he'll just be able to probably TKO up against the fence with strikes.
Yeah.
I don't know what round, but I think TKO Imavov. That's what I think.
Okay. That's fair play. I think I'm going to go with decision on Imavov personally, only because I don't want to underestimate Brendan Allen. I'm not the hugest fan of him. Like you said, he's chinny and he's a bit like... He's good on the ground. I'm not saying he's not good on the ground, but I genuinely think Imavov could make this fight whatever he wanted to make this fight.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not going to risk it, but like Imavov could literally do anything. He could walk in there, do jumping jacks, sit up. He could do whatever he wanted. There's not a whole lot Brendan Allen's going to have to say about it. But I just feel like Imavov in front of his home fans, I don't know if he's going to take that risk to get the finish and then get caught with something.
He's proved that he's all right with stinking a fight up every once in a while. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Lidze, that was... I don't know why I stayed up for that man. Like, it was one of the worst fights. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to be a good fight, but even it still disappointed me. So that was tough.
It's hard when you've set the bar this low, and then they come lower. In and
it's like fuck's sake.
Okay, finally then the big one, the main event, and I feel like we're gonna go slightly different on this one. I feel, but obviously Benoit Saint Denis versus Renato Moicano. This is like a great main event, to be honest. I feel like well done UFC. You've had some pretty stinky ones this year, but this is one of the better ones I've seen. Ultimately, it hasn't happened yet, so anything can happen. But I feel like this fight has serious potential to be a good fight. Saint Denis obviously come up short against Dustin Poirier in March this year. Like, that was pretty heartbreaking for me as a Saint Denis fan. But I thought, you can't... Fighting someone like Poirier, you have to give him props for that. It's
of course, There's not any shame in losing to Poirier. I mean,
no, Poirier only loses title fights. Like
exactly. Yeah.
So I thought, fair enough. It's shown that he's game and he's willing to fight other people, other than like just like the sort of floaters around like the bottom of the top 15 sort of end, or like coming into the rankings. Obviously Moicano, a lot of people on that money Moicano wave at the moment. He's riding that, I think it's a 3-fight win streak coming into this fight, and he's got wins over like Brad Riddell, Drew Dober, Jacquelin Turner. I think this fight is extremely close, but I am leaning towards Benoit Saint Denis in this fight.
I just can't, man. I can't do it, man. You can't afford to lose. Okay, Moicano, seriously, he's very skilled. He's got underrated striking. I mean, for some reason, at lightweight, it's gotten worse since he was at featherweight. I mean, when he was fighting Ortega, he wasn't piecing him up, but he was doing well on the feet. Yeah. Right. But now all of a sudden, he's getting dropped by Jalen Turner. He's getting pieced up a little bit by Drew Dober. Drew Dober and Jalen Turner are dangerous, but I don't know, it was a bit weird to see. But then again, his ground game and his wrestling are good enough that he can take it to the ground against people like Drew Dober and Jalen Turner, hold him down. And, it poses, well, like there was a lot of submission threat in the Drew Dober fight. There was obviously won by ground and pound against Jalen Turner. And I think he might have almost had a submission off, but I can't remember. I think it was close. Yeah, in the first round. And with someone like Benoit Saint Denis, he's got good striking. He's very dangerous on the feet. His wrestling's not so good, to be honest. He's got a lot of power, but I think someone like Moicano, he's a smart fighter. When he knows he's not doing well on the feet, he will take it to the ground. He's not going to be an idiot and keep it on the feet. I think he's going to take Benoit down. Maybe he might stink it up a little bit, maybe just lay and pray a little bit. Moicano, Magomedov, but I think Benoit's cardio is a bit questionable. Even without the staff protection, it can be a bit questionable. It's not just there yet. Whereas Moicano's got that experience. He's used to, he likes going to decision. He can against Dos Anjos. Yeah, against Dos Anjos, he was in that 5th round where he'd been pretty much beaten up the whole fight and stayed in there. He then started to beat up on Dos Anjos in the 5th round. He's got that cardio, right? He can go the whole 5 rounds if he wants to, even though it's 3 rounds. I just think Moicano is going to take him down. He'll impose his will, Lucas Tracy, on the ground. And he'll probably get clipped on the feet. The French crowd will be going crazy. Benoit will rush in. Moicano will take him down. And I think he'll find a submission. Probably in the later rounds.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. So like championship rounds, so like 4 and 5, or
I don't know about 5th round. I think 3rd to 4th round. I think 4th round. I'm thinking 4th round submission.
I think that's the problem with Saint Denis. Is it? We talk so much. I know me and you have spoke before about fighters that won't commit.
Yeah.
Benoit only commits. Like if he smells it, he's like gunning for it, and that's it's all like throw the kitchen sink at this geezer until he goes down. But like you said, the fight IQ of Moicano. I've literally been thinking about this fight, like flipping back and forth. Oh, Moicano's gonna do it. I want Moicano to win because obviously the Paddy fight. And I feel a lot of people have been saying that that's gonna happen regardless.
I think it will.
Paddy wants the Ultimate Fighter show out of it and everything. I'm not sure the UFC will do that, but I would love to see that fight regardless. But
I think if they do make the Moicano Paddy fight, no matter who wins, I've got Paddy. This is my early prediction. I've got Paddy. He just finds a way to win every time. He just finds a way to win.
It gets unnecessary. In my opinion, he gets unnecessary hate. Like, obviously, our mutual friend Modern Coliseum used to be very vocal about Paddy Pimblett back in the day, but like that performance against Bobby Green, like was there anything wrong with that at all? Like
Islam.
that is.
How was it like a second quicker than Islam?
Yeah,
like that?
There you go. Like MMA maths, Paddy Pimblett better than Islam. Don't clip that. It's just I think, to be fair, I can see it from your point of view. Renato Moicano has defo got a good chance of winning. I think people are underestimating Benoit Saint Denis in this one. But yeah, I could defo see it going both ways. But I think that's everything. It's at least everything from my end. If there's anything you want to add, maybe shout out the new Insta.
I had a really weird dream that Moicano just got KO'd clean. And I don't know if it was a vision from the gods or if it was just me being a bit nervous because I've got a bet on. But either way, I'm going to be a bit more nervous watching now that I've seen Moicano get.
Oh mate,
just like it was rough. It was pretty rough.
Oh mate, if it does though, we know you're a mystic. So
yeah, exactly. I'll be remembering my dream from now on.
Okay, perfect. So, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram, Smesh Sports. When this goes out tomorrow, I think we're gonna try and upload this Friday. You should have your You should have your Instagram set up. So
CagesideTV.
Okay, cool. And we'll I'll link that if you set that up like tonight or whatever. I'll link that in the description, and we'll try and get some people over there.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. That's pretty much everything.
Brilliant.
Thanks for watching.